All right, so we're back here. I forgot on the last video on definite integrals that we did not do any calculator work, so we're just going to wrap that calculator work section up real quickly here, showing what the TI-Nspire can do in terms of definite integrals for us. Okay, so we'll look at this first example that we did, which was this integral from 0 to 2 of x squared plus 1, this parabola. We already know the answer is 14 over 3, or 4.666 recurring, but we're going to show how the TI-Nspire can get that for us as well here. Okay, so we've got a couple of options with our Nspire. We can definitely make a graph of this function. It should be something we're pretty familiar with. Graph of x squared plus 1, a simple parabola shifted up 1 unit. Okay? And if we go menu and then we go to analyze graph, we can get this option for integral right here, number 6. Okay. And this will give us this dynamic integral calculator where we can set a lower bound and an upper bound. I generally don't use this drag and drop feature. I find it much easier to type the lower bound. So if I simply type 0 right here and hit enter, it'll snap that bound onto 0, and then I then have control of the other bound. So if it's on the right, it'll say upper bound. If I move it to the left, it'll actually say lower bound. Okay? So I can just type my two bounds in here, 0 and 2, and it'll give me this nice little visual as well as this area that I'm looking for, 4.6 recurring, and it rounds it to 4.67. Okay? So that's one way I can do integrals if I already have a graph made. Okay? There is another way, which is using a regular calculator page. So we'll take a look at that here. And we can go menu here. We can choose the calculus menu number 4, and then we can get this numerical integral template as well, and simply fill this in the same way to make it look exactly like the definite integral on our paper. It'll put these parentheses around the integram, but that's no big deal. We'll finish it out with the dx, and we'll hit enter to get that same result. Okay? So we access that through the menu and then calculus. There is a third and final way to get access to that. You can actually use the templates button right here in between the 9 and the catalog. Okay? And if you click this over on the far right side, you can grab this integral template, which does the same thing as what we just did. Okay? Another button I really like to use here is the tab button. Okay, over here on the left. That tab button will cycle you through the input text fields rather than having to click the arrow button. Okay? So tab is a great thing to use here to get these integral templates filled out. Okay? So that's a quick 3-minute video on how to do definite integrals on the TI-Nspire.